Here in Chicago for the NLDS, as the first place in the NL Central Cubs take on the first place in the NL East, the Atlanta Braves, while Jake Arrieta's on the mound for the Cubs. We'll start things off top half of the first inning, full count to Dansby Swanson. Fastball backs him off the plate, and it's ball 4. He'll take his base. So then that brings up Jung-Ho Kang 2 batters later. And then a wild pitch in the dirt is controlled by Contreras, but Swanson, with some smart base running, moves up to second. And then later in the event, another wild pitch. Swanson moves up to third. So he is now on third with 2 outs, and there is another wild pitch, and this is ball 4 as well, so Swanson comes in to score, and Kang goes over to first base. That brings up Marwin Gonzalez with 2 outs. He goes opposite way into left field for a single, sets up first and second for the Braves, as the throw also got away from the cutoff man, but not enough to move up. And then Danny Valencia draws a walk, so it's bases loaded for the Braves. Brings up Wilfredo Tovar, but he's going to hit a shallow pop fly in left center field, as John Jay's there to put that one away. And it's 1-0 Braves at the end of 1. So top 2 now is John Ryan Murphy. He ropes one into center field for a single. He's on first base. Next batter up is Julio Teheran, lays down a bunt, fielded by Rizzo, tries to turn 2 with it, but he throws it into the outfield. Murphy does not move up, though, as it's still first and second. But then Ender Inciarte comes up, and he grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. Murphy moves up to third, but there's 2 outs. And then Dansby Swanson, with some clutch 2-out hitting, drives one into center field past the glove of Javier Baez, as he makes it a 2-0 Braves lead. Julio Teheran was the pitcher for the Braves, and in the bottom half of the 4th inning got into a bit of a jam. Addison Russell hits one just barely fair down the third base line for the Cubs' first hit of the game. So then full count to the next batter in Anthony Rizzo. He draws a walk, so it's first and second for the Cubs, and that brings up Chris Bryant, who a pitch in the dirt gets to him and then bounces away from Murphy. Runners move up to second and third. So second to third, 1 out. Bryant then strikes out on the changeup. It's 2 down now, second and third. Brings up Kyle Schwarber, the power-hitting left fielder, and he strikes out the big curveball. Teheran gets into a jam, but he works out of it. Move on to the bottom half of the 6th, where Biagini came on for the Braves in relief. But then a pitch to Addison Russell gets past Tovar into right field for a single, and then Anthony Rizzo comes to the plate, and he blasts one opposite way into left center field gap. It's going to score Addison Russell all the way from first base, an easy RBI double for Anthony Rizzo, as it is now with a 2-1 Braves lead, 1-run lead. And then Kyle Schwarber comes up 2 batters later, and he absolutely pulverizes one over the right field fence into the stands, as Kyle Schwarber hits a 2-run shot and gives the Cubs a 3-2 lead. 409-foot shot. Cubs are now on top. Biagini stays in because they did not want to sacrifice a pitcher just so they could pinch hit next inning. But then he ends up walking Contreras. He moves up to second base, and then Eloy Jimenez comes on to pinch hit. Hits it right back up the middle. Contreras scores from second. It's a pinch hit RBI single for Jimenez, as it is. As the ball gets away from Murphy there, it's now a 4-2 Cubs lead. Kyle Crockett then comes on in the inning, and he would get John Jay to ground at the first as they finally escape this nightmare of an inning where they blow their lead, give up 4 runs. So move on to the top half of the 9th. Wade Davis on the mound. Matt Kemp coming in to pinch hit to lead things off. And he starts things off with a little rope of a single into center field. So he's on first base. He would not do the running, though, as that is the job for Zach Granite. Comes in a pinch run. That brings up John Ryan Murphy, as he goes opposite way, but it's lined right at Hayward, so Granite has to retreat to first. Brings up Jace Peterson, who came in because of a double switch earlier in the game, and then Zach Granite goes and swipes second base, just barely gets in before the tag from Russell. So he's on second, 1 out. Jace Peterson, 1-2 count, cannot pull the trigger on the fastball right in the wheelhouse, and he goes down looking. So then it brings up Ender Inciarte. He would grind out to second base. Baez tosses over to first. And that is the final in this game as the Chicago Cubs take Game 1 of the National League Division Series by a score of 4-2 here in Chicago over the Atlanta Braves. Kyle Schwarber got Player of the Game honors as he was 1 for 4 on the day with a 2-run shot back in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Fernando Rodriguez gets the win. Wade Davis gets the save. Biagini is credited for the loss. He gave up 4 hits, 4 runs in that bottom half of the 6th inning when he blew the 2-0 lead when coming in from forward relief. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Atlanta Braves franchise. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.
A new day's coming. Ooh, ooh. People are changing.